remember to meet people halfway. Remember that when it comes to sport, language is not that important.
I love to play more soccer. It's a sport. Run, friends, go around Australia.
Like to give my experience in soccer to little kids and to become famous one day.
We've been running a community coaching program from the start of this year. We've had 15 people, young people of diverse ethnic background. Most of them have only been in Australia for the last 2 or 3 years. And they've come to us and we've run a training program for them to become coaches, junior football coaches.
Just like we were doing indoor soccer, like Nick Nicholas saw me doing some talk to the boys about coaching or something like that. He said, why don't you go to do coaching certificate to become coach for little kids? I said, that's a good idea.
I'm with CMY Sports and Recreation team. Really, we had a couple of boys who were looking to take that next step, volunteering at club level, things like that, and the coaching was a good fit for them to come down here.
We go in too many clubs playing and go around, out, home. Yeah, more friends, meeting friends, for other countries, not just Iraqi.
Getting out of their own community and getting into that wider community, the football community, increasing their social networks and learning skills as they're doing that. So, 2.5, 3 years in the country, still learning English, what a great opportunity and a great way to improve your language skills by coming down and teaching your football skills to younger kids.
We've brought a bunch of young people together who didn't know each other, didn't know much about organised sport in Australia, and they've become really good friends. They've made friends with the kids in the club, with parents and other coaches, so we've introduced them to a whole new community network. The little kids just love them, and together they've all developed new skills and new friendships.
Self-language for kids, sometimes speaking something we don't hear it before, so kind of practice English.
So look, it's been great for them. Their confidence levels have increased. In the year I've known them, their English levels have increased. They're general just a lot more outgoing, a lot more extroverted now, so it's been a really, really positive experience for them.
They associate football with very, very good life experiences that they've had overseas, so the joy that you could see on their faces and just the freedom they had with the game football was just amazing and a very enlightening experience for me.
Every time I leave school, street to the street and to play soccer.
We're very, very privileged in Australia, and a lot of the times we take it for granted, but some of the stories that these people have come and they bring baggage to Australia is just amazing, and it was a breath of fresh air for me. It just probably gives us a bit of a reality check.
Some of the barriers for newly arrived communities will be transport, language, culture, just differences in culture and how things are done, financial issues as well. It's really about supporting the families and the young people doing that as opposed to doing for them. In terms of strategies, really it's about going where there's a captive audience, so making use of the community organisations who are already working with newly arrived families, who have the trust and the relationships that sporting clubs can come in on.
We've borrowed minibuses, we've had youth workers and teachers drive the minibuses, we've had parents and friends pick up the young people from home and bring them. And eventually, as they became more engaged and more committed, they have found their way themselves. They've negotiated the public transport system. So it's about developing the relationships, which helps develop the commitment, and with that you find amazing ways to get around problems.
We are clear about our boundaries as workers and sports as well, that we don't try and do too much. We're there to support as opposed to do for.
My parents always like soccer, to become famous player. They always helping me and pushing me forward.
It's investing a fair bit of energy at the onset to make those contacts and to build the relationships, but it's about structuring a program to offer the opportunities. Once people become involved, they tend to reach out to others and they bring other people along. But it's building the trust and the relationships first, and it does take a bit of effort.
It is an untapped resource, and the coaches there are wonderful. What we don't realise is many of these coaches come from a footballing background, so that the passion is in the blood, so to speak. They have a very, very thorough understanding of the game, which a lot of our people here don't, and they're willing to do it. And I think if these people generally tick all the boxes that clubs are after, and it's just an untapped market which needs to be tapped into, because there's some wonderful, wonderful people and footballing people in these communities.
Remember to meet people halfway. Remember that when it comes to sport, language is not that important. Action and fun is a really good way to invite people who might be too shy to actually have a conversation. Have family days, barbecues, friendly games. Less emphasis on competition and more emphasis on interaction and community development.
I like coaching like one day good club, and will be good coaching for everybody, and like team and club like us.
Nabil was recently selected for the Street Soccer World Cup to represent Australia, which is a phenomenal achievement for someone 3 years in the country, and to put on the green and gold. So it's a very proud moment for him and for his family and for the Iraqi community in Hume. They're also up at the English Language Centre in Broadmeadows, which they were students of about 18 months ago, and they've taken their coaching skills free of charge, voluntarily are going up to the language centre and are coaching 80 students.
Well, there's a need because there's a whole pool of talent out there. A lot of young people who come to Australia come with a football background, whether it's a formal one or they just play around in the street. They're incredibly talented players. A lot of them are fantastic informal teachers and have the potential to be great coaches.
But at the end of the day, all they want to do is coach or play football, which, to be honest, we speak a global language, and they have a very good understanding of that. So all I say is open your doors, be accommodating to them, because a lot of them have some wonderful skills that we don't have, and some great life stories that they can impart on all areas of any sporting organisation.